This past week in the industry, we bid farewell to two strong, prominent, hard-working individuals. On behalf of the entire Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, we would like to send our best wishes and our condolences and our thoughts and prayers to all parties and families affected by the passing of former Million Dollar champion Michael Jones Virgil and one of the original members of the Four Horsemen, Ole Anderson. We thank you all for this moment of silence that we give for the fallen. Thank you. Where a timeless encounter awaits with the Virtuosa, where somebody's going to do it for all the right dads in America, where we're going to truly see who are the top guys in tag team wrestling, and so many other things that aren't truly for sure in deciding. But there's one thing for sure about what we're doing tonight. It is simply predicting Showtime for the last time, and it is Sting's final match at AEW Revolution. Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Simply Predicting. You know what this is, for I am the simple moderator, the simple man of the simple brand, the voice of the jam, and forever grateful professional wrestling. Damn it, and thank you, Sting. And my name is Noah Foster. With me, as always, is my fellow panelists in all things predictions and wrestling. First off, he is my co-analyst in all things wrestling. And of course, he also is a heavy proponent for one brand in particular, but he also offers a lot of history, and I'm sure we're going to make a lot of history in predicting. And he's got, his own analysis for some matches we're talking about particular, if you know what I mean. He is the renegade of wrestling, Casinating Studio CEO, JJ Williams. JJ, how are you this evening?
I am doing well. It's good to be here. Good to be here discussing AEW Revolution Showtime for the last time. Do you want to take a moment? You paid the memoriam there. Great job. Appreciate that. Want to turn the mood up a little bit. Happy birthday to the founder, the West Coast professor, Jeff Emmeref and Meacham.
Hey.
41 years old today. Thank you very much for allowing us all to be part of your multiverse of media team, good sir. Happy birthday. Hopefully your day has been an amazing one.
Full of magic, wonder, and every blessing you deserve. God bless you, Jeff Mother effing Meacham, for making this all possible and being one of our inspiring friends and partners in this passion we all share. Speaking of passion, speaking of predictions, speaking of horsemen, of course, I christened myself one of the four horsemen of predictions. And of course, this gentleman down here is another. Shout out to Jeff Chadwick and Mark Griffith. I hope they're doing well. We'll definitely do some hype towards the end of the month, and not the beginning of the new month, if you know what I mean. But in the meantime, he's once again here in all things predicting. Focus, young man. Christopher Rotz. Chris, how are you this evening? How you feel about All Elite Wrestling's AEW Revolution and Sting's last match?
Hey, everybody. I'm excited for AEW Revolution. It's Sting's final match. Thank you, Sting, for an amazing career. You're going to go off to the sunset, and you're going to do what you do best, just spend time with the family, spend time with your friends, and just enjoy life, Sting. I'm going to give this show a 7 out of 10. It should be a fun show. I'll definitely be watching it on Sunday night. Looking forward to it. And I want to give a shout out to Jeff Meacham. Happy birthday, buddy. I hope you have many more birthdays to come. You deserve everything, and thank him for allowing us to do what we love best and talk about professional wrestling. So say yeah to NoDQ.com, and good luck to everybody that is competing in the AEW Prediction League for 2024.
Well said, man. And yes, it is that time once again. The All Elite League begins for the fifth time. I once again am proud to host the Predictions League for all Elite Wrestling pay-per-views. And it sounds like we're going to have even more than last year. So buckle up, folks. If rumors are to be believed. AEW, you feed too much into that nonsense. Protect your mentality. But I digress. Shout out to everybody out there in the chat. Hope you all enjoy the conversation. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. And of course, if you want to be part of the league, the link for the forum is in the description down below across both channels. But if you want to dictate the conversation, don't need to dictate at Cat Station Studios. Super chat. It is truly as simple as that. Otherwise, please stay on topic and feel free to share your predictions on the matches we talk about. And once we start talking about Sting, love to get all your retrospectives, your thoughts, your moments, your greatest matches, anything you want to take away from the Icon's illustrious career. But yes, we are here to talk about AEW Revolution, the first pay-per-view in the AEW cycle for 2024. It is, of course, this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Crazy mother blinkers. 0-hour pre-show chat with Renee Paquette, RJ City. I'm sure Stokely Hadley won't be too far behind either. Of course, domestically, you can get it here on Bleacher Report. I know internationally, you can get it on Fight. There's other cycles, too, like Sky.com. I know it's going to be in select Dave and Buster feeders, as AEW usually does. And as far as what we do here, me and James Hebert, back in the color analyst seat, will be providing you play-by-play call, commentary, reactions for the entire show's duration as the Deputy Director of Multiverse Media Live Watcher event schedule, hashtag We Gonna Die, brings you AEW Revolution Sting's last match, starts Sunday, March 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with pre-show chat. All right, now that we got all the fun little shenanigans and the hype out of the way and all the plugs out of the way too, and the fact that this is the launch and I have no leaderboards to show as well, gentlemen and ladies virtually that are watching and our fans of All Elite Wrestling too, let's get on into it. So as of right now, we have 9 official matches for this pay-per-view, the same as World's End. Nothing announced for the 0 hour, and so they will not count towards predictions, but they will be part of pre-show coverage, discussion, come the pay-per-view day. We are going to focus on the primary 9 matches known for the pay-per-view. And yes, there is a subtle spoiler, courtesy of No DQ, for one match from Rampage and Collision, as one match had to be filled out, and I had to know the other 2 participants. Thanks, Mikey T, for the heads up. Don't follow him at Report Card Radio. You're crazy dude, but love you. All right, let's go ahead and kick things off and start talking about these matches. A lot of championships on the line, a lot of pride on the line. Of course, we have Sting for the final time. That will be our main event. We're going to kick things off with this, where 2 years ago, the man earned the respect of the Ocho. But can Eddie Kingston earn the respect of the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson? As the Continental Crown will be on the line, the NWW Strong Championship, the Ring of Honor World Championship, and of course, the newly minted AEW Continental Crown Championship that makes the modern day AAA in North America. That Eddie Kingston has defended, has presented, respected, and has also literally fought every fighter has been for each title proudly. He has been the MW Strong Champion now for, 240 days, Ring of Honor World Champion for 163 days, Continental Crown 62 days, and so far is going into his 4th defense where all 3 titles are on the line. And he's also given us already 2 proving ground matches against Willie Mack and Brian Keefe, who of course got his All Elite contract. Simply put, JJ, Bryan Danielson this past Wednesday on Dynamite, as we saw, crazy trios turmoil, incapacitated the man. Shades of Rampage once again. But this time, Eddie Kingston did not have an act of defiance. He literally passed out. So Bryan Danielson has to create that he is going to choke him out at Revolution. And of course, Eddie Kingston says, my beef is not with Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson's beef is with me. The fact he doesn't respect me. So much so that he added a caveat. If Eddie Kingston wins, not only does he retain the Continental Crown, Bryan Danielson has to shake his hand after the match. With Bryan Danielson on his last full-time run, does he get one last accolade, or does maybe he finally proverbially give back to somebody he thought never reached their potential before this point in time and finally respects it, even if it's by force? JJ, what do you think?
God, I hate having to pick Eddie Kingston. I really do. I know a lot of people get into him, and that's cool. I'm not going to take anything away from the fans, but I am such a Danielson guy through and through. I have seen all the different phases of the dragon, but let's be real. Wembley is probably going to be his last hurrah. Maybe All Out the week following. He's not going to do the entire calendar year.
No.
So there's no need to put gold on him at this point. I think the better way of putting someone over at this point is the fact that he's going to have to shake Eddie's hand. And he's going to hate it, and I'm going to hate it, and I'm going to be vocal about how much I hate it on the air.
I can't wait.
But Eddie Kingston takes this one.
King of the Bums, guy that stayed to the streets, did things his own way. Not the guy you would expect on the marquee, but has a hell of a passion, heart, and fighting spirit for the arts, particularly of Japanese professional wrestling, as we saw with Drew Nakayama's disrespect shown by Bryan Danielson. Shout out to the 20 of you that's put your predictions in so far in and out of No DQ, ATW, and friends in professional wrestling, the studio community too, including not limited to Shiana Chanel. She just did her own little video. Go follow her folks here on YouTube at Sienna_Chanel. Cheers, Cindy. Draco, Charlene, Wesley Conklin, Christopher Rotz. Hey, there you are. Jeff Chadwick, Jerry Slaughter, the General, Dwayne Atkinson, Kimberly Collin, King Corey, and so many more too. According to this, Chris, it does look like that a majority of people, 80 to 20%, are going with the Mad King. So, do you worship the King of the Bums, or do you believe the American Dragon snuffs this fire of incredible potential he's lived up to out at Revolution?
Well, I'm glad you started with this match because I feel this is going to be the opening match on Sunday. I just have a gut feeling it's going to be the opening. Yeah, Eddie Kingston, he won that Continental Championship back at War's End, and there is no way they're going to take the title off of him just yet. Bryan Danielson, he's gained a couple of months in before he winds down his wrestling career, and he's going to give back to the wrestling community and put over the talent that needs a boost, needs that push. I am going with Eddie Kingston to win this match, and I'm going to be happy when Bryan Danielson has to shake Eddie Kingston's hand at the very end of this match.
Fair enough. Shout out to Pop in the chat. Claim the same settlements. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. All right.
Yes.
So we're all unanimous here so far. Eddie Kingston continues to be the bearer of the Continental Crown, and we wonder who will be the guy to take away, if not one, but all three of these titles. Again, he's defended them individually and as a unit. Gotta respect that. And shout out to Dwayne Atkinson. Good to see you, my friend. Again, folks, please like, subscribe, comment, tell friends. Share the link with all your friends that maybe don't even know what All Elite Wrestling is. Give them a little bit of a tune in. See what we three bring. Maybe we can entertain them. Who knows? And also for those that are watching SmackDown, I don't have Fox. I'm sure Chris is up two minds as always. I don't blame him for that. Please remain hashtag spoiler free. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Well, I think it's only fair we talked about one part of the Blackpool Combat Club. Why not talk about the other? Chris, you start this one. Because we talk about Bryan Danielson giving Eddie Kingston respect, will John Moxley and Kyle Castagnoli give the top guy self-proclaimed tag team wrestling respect? It's FTR versus John Moxley and Kyle Castagnoli 2. And this time there's a 60-minute time limit after they went into a 20-minute draw a couple weeks ago on Dynamite. Preferably, you look at this match, you got to consider it being an impromptu number one contendership towards the AEW Tag Team Champions. And I think based on predictions, there's going to be a lot of butterfly effect based on what people think about this one and what people think about the main event. So, Chris, as you know, Dax Harwood, one of the passionate men in all tag team wrestling, of course, faced John Moxley in singles that really launched this off in the first place. Incredible match, but John Moxley incapacitated him. Kyle Castagnoli and John Moxley, no strangers to tag team gold, but never have won tag team gold together. YFTR have won every tag team championship you could think of in the industry. So, Chris, where do you stand in what really is a tag grudge match and maybe a sleeper of the night?
Personally, this tag match is going to be good.
There's the phrase.
We saw this, was it last week we saw this? Yeah, it was last week when it was the draw. And personally, When I saw that draw, I knew we were going to get another match. And that's how Tony Khan books. He booked this tag team match last week to kill up like some TV time. And now you're going to put a rematch on a pay-per-view where we already saw it last week. Do we have to see it again? This tag match should be fun. I got the Blackpool Combat Club winning this tag team match. And here's why, because one of the FTR members have to clear something up with legal issues. So I do believe they are going to write FTR off of television after Sunday. And we're not going to see FTR for at least maybe a while until the legal stuff gets done first. And then when they get back, they could get back doing what they love best. Blackpool Combat Club win, and they go to a tag team championship opportunity down the road.
With the regular systems in play, who knows how soon or how late that can be. Well, JJ, funny enough, despite that legal issue loophole that could cause a wrinkle in this, the majority are going with FTR. It's 60 to 40% against Blackpool Combat Club. Where do you stand in this? And I have a feeling you have some storytelling based on what you pick here once we get to the main event, but we'll talk more about that later. Where do you stand in this tag grudge?
I like FTR. I wish I could lean towards FTR, but with the legal issues looming and Moxley seemingly never losing a match, despite the fact that he was supposed to go on vacation about 3.5 years ago.
Who's tracking time, though?
But are FTR even in the normal, not trio, rankings as of yet? Because the last I saw, they weren't even ranked.
I don't think they are at this point. They've only had, I think, 2 regular tag matches. Besides that, been involved in trios. But as we know, the other part of this party is involved in something else where there may be more success.
I don't think the BCC is going to lose clean, the entire night. So if Danielson is going to get beaten by Eddie, you got to give this one to Mox and Claudio and even things out some.
Yeah, that kind of was my thinking personally, because it also keeps Jon Moxley away from a singles championship since he's had the AEW World Championship how many times now? Takes him in a different direction after having the International Championship for what that was worth. Takes Claudio in a different direction. Again, Claudio and Chris Hero, Kings of Pro Wrestling, former Ray of Honor tag champions. Of course, we had The Bar in WWE, Sheamus and Cesaro, aka Claudio Castagnoli. We even had Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura for a spell. Jon Moxley, former tag champion, of course, alongside Seth freaking Rollins. Also tag champ on the independent scene, including alongside Sami Callihan as part of Switchblade. So, tag team
Cesaro and Tyson Kidd also, right?
That is correct. Yep. That was actually, I think, Cesaro's first WWE tag accolade. So, very good.
And Cesaro and Jack Swagger.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The All-Americans.
We
the
people. Of course, now
that gimmick sucked back creative.
I liked that gimmick, damn it, but I still miss Chris Hero. Like, I wish that Chris Hero would come out there, clock the shit out of Moxley, and we'd get a Kings of Wrestling reunion.
Maybe a sign of things to come. And with Special Ring of Honor still being a thing, gotta figure out somebody to challenge Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. But yeah, I agree with you all. It's kind of unanimous here. I just think right now, Blackpool Combat Club is going in a different direction. With Jon Moxley talking about people that need to keep up or step up and get step out. FTR, way to step up, but you've done everything possible in tag team wrestling, and maybe it's time to take a little bit of a different direction. Even if Dax and Cash want to focus in tag team endeavors. Plus, last time it was a draw. Technically, you don't have a record. Blackpool Combat Club gets the win here. Who's to say this can't get visited and we somehow settle this once and for all? 2 out of 3 falls or some other crazy, violent dynamic for all we know. Yes, Chris.
I have a question. Do
Yes.
you guys think John Moxley's going to bleed in this match?
Oh, God.
Of course. Of course. I tried to petition last night when No DQ was doing the predictions to have the bonus question be how long until Moxley bleeds.
Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Seriously, why? You guys are all over Moxley being about paper mache, but when he actually wrestles and doesn't bleed, it's supposed to be a shocker. Last year, he was involved in a Texas death match. This is his normal tag team match. He doesn't need to bleed unless he rarely goes into the friggin' ring post, I guess. But he doesn't need to bleed every time he wrestles. Come on.
I'm just saying, like, and then it would have been total Price is Right because you got to get the closest without going over.
Oh, good grief almighty. You're giving Aaron horrible ideas for the next time they do Anarchy in the Arena. And you know that crazy son of a gun's going to do that. Anyway.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, anyway, as far as this goes, and this match is sponsored by Red Cross, is all I know. Almost said the wrong thing. We're all going with Blackpool Combat Club, and we'll see what's next for the top guys. Some of them won't be done with Blackpool Combat Club, but they won't be going after them for a little while. All right. Good grief almighty. Well, that was simple and fun. Let's go ahead and move on into... Well, I mean, let's see. I did champion. I did non-champion. I think I should do champion next. So why the heck not? Whatever. Orange Cassidy, the AEW International Championship, is on the line against the Undisputed Kingdom's Roderick Strong. For those that don't know, Orange Cassidy, of course, has held this title since winning it back from Jon Moxley at AEW Full Gear. And he defended it, of course, against the Bounty Hunter Brian Keith, and Claudio Castagnoli, and Angelico, and Rocky Romero, and Dante Martin, and Nick Wayne, and a 7-way in Rev Pro, and Tomoyoshi, and Commander, and he endured a Texas death match, and he's got a bad shoulder, he's got a bad back, bad elbow, bad leg, and he's barely clear to wrestle, and here he is. Good. Basically, he's been champion now for 143 days, going into his 13th defense. Damn. Roderick Strong basically has been advocating that he is next strong, but has nothing to show for it. Now, truth be told, he's a former NXT North American champion, but he's basically been making Orange Cassidy wait while trying to weaken him. How much juice do you have to squeeze and pulp out of Orange Cassidy before he no longer can actually answer? That's the question. Do we get a revolution? The only reason I'm going to lead off and say yes, if Undisputed Kingdom is going to have any value to themselves, Roderick has to get the win here or this kingdom crumbles beneath the sands, in my opinion. That kingdom falls if Roderick Strong fails. I think it's truly as simple as that. I think Strong becomes the new national champion. And maybe Cassidy gets a well-deserved break on a beach. For Pete's sake, man, you've done 2 times over now everything possible, making this probably the most important championship in the company to fight for that anyone can go after. But maybe Roderick Strong can take it in a different direction, and we'll see something new for Orange Cassidy. I say Strong wins, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Undisputed Kingdom gets involved. JJ, what do you think?
Well, I think the Undisputed Era are definitely going to make their voice heard here. You know, the Undisputed Elite aren't going to allow themselves to just stay silent. We're going to see Roderick Strong truly rule the Mushroom Kingdom. You know. Yes, I'm doing this on purpose, folks. I'm not that much of an idiot. I know it's the Undisputed Kingdom, but
He's having fun.
How many Undisputeds are we going to have here? This fucking cookie cutter bullshit. Seriously, the Undisputed Era, the Undisputed Elite, now it's the Undisputed Kingdom, the United Kingdom, the Mushroom Kingdom. Everything you said is the way I feel, though, bruv. I mean, if Roderick Strong does not pick up the victory here, what the hell is Tony Khan even trying to do? And again, I get Adam Cole is injured. I get MJF is injured.
Extremely.
But if that's the case, then why even pull the trigger and start this program? we've got to do something here. The Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett. I'm just so I would think I would rather watch a Young Bucks fight than
Boom!
watch them do anything. And everyone knows how I feel about the Bucks.
Yeah, that's a hell of a status quo he just put up for himself, folks. If you know,
That's
you
how
know.
little I am impressed and entertained by those two yahoos. And if I'm being real, the only reason I give any ounce of a fuck about this crew isn't Wardlow, the petulant child who came out crying a week ago on the mic.
Damn.
It's the master of the backbreaker, Roderick Strong, who I've followed since '05 when I was first exposed to him on the indie circuit. Roderick Strong is the only reason I care about this faction. Give the man a title. He deserves it. The international championship has already been through course corrections.
Yes. Once.
2.
Oh, that's right. Too. I forgot.
Mox
Right.
took
You
it
got
off of
injured.
Cassidy, and then Fenix took it off of Mox,
I forgot about
and
that one.
then Cassidy took it off of Fenix.
Yep.
All because Mox had to get a championship, and Orange Cassidy was so banged up to begin with. So what do? We cycle it back around to the guy that was beat up and put the belt back on him. Honestly, I know you guys were talking about Kingston Danielson starting off the show. I think it's either going to be this match, because Cassidy matches seem to be pretty notorious for starting off a broadcast, as do Moxley matches.
That's
I
actually
think
fair.
it's
Now
going to
that you
be
say that.
one of those two, and I think they're going to save with the respect being on the line. I think
That's
they're going to
fair.
save that for, first hour going into hour 2, second hour going into hour 3 type of territory, because there's a little bit higher stakes there.
That's a fair analysis, because Orange Cassidy usually does open the international championship, become kind of like the opener almost for the show, if not the main event. And based on what we are dealing with here, this actually makes a lot of sense, and it also means that Orange immediately can go take a break. With all due respect to the whole, story set up in the delayed approach of Roderick Strong, trying to weaken Orange Cassidy at every point possible. Orange Cassidy has given more than enough to AEW, let alone this championship. I think he deserves a break, whether he wants it or not. Might be his own worst enemy. And again, he also might be whatever. But seriously, bro, at one point you literally put him up there as a challenger for the AEW World Championship. And with where AEW is right now, that very likely could happen. So, Chris, where do you stand here? It's 85-15 in favor of Roderick Strong. So, will Orange Cassidy meet his end of heartache at the Messiah of the Backbreaker? And will you be calling Roderick Strong the champion now? So, Chris, what's your prediction?
Well, my prediction is this. I agree with all you guys. I have Roderick Strong becoming the new international championship. Orange Cassidy, he has done everything he has could with that championship. And personally, I think he's going to go down as one of the greatest international champions of all time. Personally, he needs a break. He needs a vacation. He needs to go to a beach, for all we know. And personally, he deserves it. It's time for Roderick Strong to take that international championship and see what he could do with it. We know Matt Taven and Matt Bennett, who the Ring of Honor tag team champions, is now time for for Roderick Strong to carry the international championship and start using the Undisputed Kingdom more often and give them more credibility for holding championships and making this stable the best stable that it could ever be. So, Tony Khan, I hope you don't mess this up on Sunday. Roderick Strong is the new international champion on Sunday.
All right, fair enough. And Pop disagrees.
A.
I respect that. After all,
I'm not gonna be mad at my pops if he disagrees.
yeah, I like different opinions. At the end of the day, AEW, this title, and the people involved, you know, you all know what it's about. You got to get the people what they want. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they want a new champion. Who knows? All right, let's go ahead and move on from there. Once again, away from championships to, I guess, not really a grudge, but let's just call it what it is. It's a sleeper exhibition. It is that tryout tests by fire for one Will Ospreay, but arguably probably the biggest test of Konosuke Takeshita's career to date. Will Ospreay is officially all elite, bruv, full time, and his first match in AEW is a family affair. Another member of the Don Callis family, as of right now. The Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. Of course, Konosuke Takeshita, he beat Kenny Omega last year at AEW All Out, while Will Ospreay beat Kenny Omega last year at the Forbidden Door. Will Ospreay beat Chris Jericho at AEW All In. Konosuke Takeshita beat Chris Jericho on Dynamite. So similar accolades as far as people they beat in AEW. But why Konosuke Takeshita is a 5-time KLD heavyweight champion from his promotion DDT Pro, Will Ospreay has literally put the IWGP United States United Kingdom Championship on the map last year, and has victories over the likes of Tanahashi, Okada, people Mike Bailey, Marufuji, Josh Alexander. I'm just saying. To bet against Will Ospreay here would be suicide in predictions, in my opinion, because if you're going to give a guy a strong first impression, this is a hell of a way to do it. This is going to be fun to watch, physical, balls to the wall aerial, and I can't wait to see which person gets knocked the fuck out first. But I'm going with Will Ospreay, bruv, to win. Crowns up, and I think we'll see a different demeanor in the family following this. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So I don't think there's much more needs to be said here unless somebody has an opposing argument. So we will leave it to the chat and to the room while I look at the thing here real quick just to see if somebody was a troll and actually put. Nope, y'all are brilliant. It's 100% actually also in my poll. Yeah, JJ, what you doing?
I'm not saying I'm voting this way,
Okay,
but I think there's something we definitely need to consider here.
go for it.
Don Callis.
Yes, the guy that instigated this in the first place.
Do you really think, as great as Ospreay is, I'm taking nothing away from Ospreay, but do you really think that Callis is going to sell his alpha down the river? Or do you think he's going to do everything that he can, whether it's a little additional powerhouse, whether it's Kyle Fletcher, to make sure that his alpha stays the alpha? And I don't know what Kyle Fletcher's status is. I don't know if he's injured or whatever, because I haven't seen him around a lot lately. But with the other member of Aussie Open out via injury, how heartbreaking would it be for Kyle Fletcher to betray Ospreay? And then you now have another feud set up to continue going down the road here as we build towards Double or Nothing, big business, some more high profile shows. Again, I'm not 100% sold in the fact that I'm going to pick Takeshita and go completely out of left field, but the Don Callis family is the Don Callis family. And Ospreay seemed like he was going really babyface in his promo on Wednesday. Yep. I don't think Callis is going to like that.
No, because what family matters? The Don Callis family or your family? Sammy Guevara learned that the hard way. And for those that don't know, Will Ospreay, bruv, is a father. And you might know him if you follow Rev Pro. He is technically in a relationship with the former Rev Pro Women's British Heavyweight Champion, Alex Windsor. So I feel like the
Alex
Brook
Winter?
Windsor, Windsor,
Oh,
Windsor.
okay. I
Yeah.
thought you said Alex Winter. I was like,
Nope.
the only Alex Winter I know is the dude that played Bill S. Preston Esquire in Bill and Ted.
Nah, nah. Yeah, Alex Windsor, former Rev
Windsor,
Pro
okay.
Women's British Heavyweight Champion, defended the title once against Mickey James in high end, and also she is the one that took on Giselle Shaw last year at Turning Point. You're all right. So Pop Go Osprey, we're all going with Osprey here, and thank you, Pop, for the $10 super chat. Greatly
Yes.
appreciate always your support. We'd love to have you one day on these panels too. Chris, you have a thought before we move on here? Because I think the idea here is not so much the result, but Don Callis' MO. Again, he screwed Driver, Kenny Omega, left that when he was a father figure since he was 10 years old in that man's life, high and dry, for the Alpha. And for his own crueler, much more self-provocated, selfish agenda, and use Will Ospreay towards that. But again, does he invest in Will Ospreay or does he invest in Konosuke Takeshita? Because bottom line, this is not about these two for Don Callis. This is about him and what he wants to invest in. Period. But go ahead, Chris.
Well, I'm going with Will Ospreay no matter what. I'm a huge Will Ospreay fan, and this is his first AEW pay-per-view debut match under the AEW roster. And I think Tony Khan is going to book Will Ospreay his debut match perfectly. He's going to win. They're going to give Tony Khan is going to push Will Ospreay to become the new AEW World Champion in Wembley Stadium in August. I'm putting that out there right now. Will Ospreay becomes the new AEW World Championship in Wembley Stadium, and I'm calling it now. But far as the match goes, Will Ospreay wins. We gotta look out for Don Callis.
That virus.
I just have a gut feeling Don Callis is gonna turn on Will Ospreay. I just have a gut feeling he's gonna want to stick with Konosuke Takeshita, Powerhouse Hobbs, Kyle Fletcher, but I think Don Callis is gonna have an introduction. I personally believe Don Callis is going to introduce a new member to the Don Callis family. And I'm hearing heavily rumors that this coming Wednesday, it could happen. I think Don Callis is going to recruit Okada to be in the Don Callis family.
You know, I thought Jerry was abnormal in his booking philosophy. I think Chris might actually beat him because that's one of the damnedest provocations I've ever heard in my life. But optimistic. And it definitely would reset Okada in a whole different limelight. A heavy rain looms over AEW. But I do think Will Ospreay is going to elevate the game as far as your prediction goes. But bottom line, we can all agree probably on this. Don Callis family is not going to be the same following this match.
No.
I think that's
and
a
you
safe
know
bet.
what? You know what? Go ahead and make it official for me, Noah. I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going with Takeshita. Somebody has to, man. This could be the one that makes or breaks me.
No kidding.
I'm willing to take that chance. I'm willing to go balls to the wall here.
I love it.
You know, Chris even just freaking reiterated everything that I said as far as like turning the Callis family's preparation. You think they're going to go through all that and lose? That's what's sitting in the back of my mind. Like, it doesn't make sense for Ospreay to lose his debut match since signing the roster. I get that. But man, what better thing than to get lost, take an L, get turned on by the Callis family, and then have to have that slow rise to the mountaintop at Wembley Stadium, as opposed to getting everything handed to you on a silver platter.
That's fair because according to AEW, again, the wins and losses matter. According to our current champion, you need to bring your resume, you need to bring your record. Nothing is given, everything's earned. So I can understand where you're going. I can understand where you're going. Either way, this match definitely has given a little more thought towards Aftermath versus what's within it. And I like that. And everyone loves an underdog story, maybe it's a dark underdog. That being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next match. JJ, you kick things off with this one. Let's go ahead and talk about the TNT Championship. This freaking I'm going to remain professional here. The current TNT champion, Christian Cage of the patriarch himself, the self-professed best father in America, kiss my ass, takes on Daniel Garcia after Daniel Garcia has been working his ways towards going after the TNT championship after being the patriarchy in trios action alongside FTR. And basically, Adam Copeland had the Cope Open where he ran 5 straight matches. Both men were on a winning run, so they decided to settle in the ring to see who faces Christian Cage for this title. And Daniel Garcia said if he has to keep fighting from the bottom up 100 times over to get to gold, he's willing to do that. Strong grit for this young man at 25 years of age. But Christian Cage decided to eliminate what I think was probably his biggest threat with a concerto. But if we all know Adam Copeland, you can't keep this man's grit down for long, and he comes back with a vengeance. That being said, Daniel Garcia, he is one of the AEW originals on the rise, accepted by the people. We talked about the most improved AEW wrestler arguably last year, Julia Hart. She finally won her first accolade on pay-per-view, the TBS Championship. For those that are wondering, Julia Hart is still injured. Get well soon. Daniel Garcia is a former Ring of Honor Pure champion, but he has yet to hold gold in AEW. If nothing else, you know he has the support system of Adam Copeland, which I do think if that match went the way it did, I think Daniel Garcia could have won, honest for truly. And we also know that Matt Menard has been a huge supporter since day one of this young man, Red Death. At this point, Christian Cage, I think, has done so much to elevate this title. His character already is.
Can you say that one more time? Can you say that one more time, please?
Me and my freaking unbiased officiating. At this point, I feel like Christian Cage has done all he can to elevate this title, which he has quite to a degree. Damn it. Anyway, I think Daniel Garcia is the change the TNT title needs. I understand people are talking about Adam Copeland and Christian Cage finishing it out. They don't need the title to finish out what they started with Christian Cage threatening his damn neck. And he probably threatened to give it a concerto. I think at this point, everyone's just waiting for a TLC with these two one-on-one and then see how it goes. Or for Adam Copeland to go full rated R, go heel, and you get the team that reeks of awesomeness down the line without a patriarchy in sight. I think Nick Wayne and Mama Wayne can do their own thing together because Nick Wayne has incredible potential as well, as we saw against Orange Cassidy. But for me, something has to give in the TNT Championship picture where Killswitch lacks a freaking brain even though he has a master's degree. Fudge freaking DraftKings and your betting odds bullshit. I'm going with Daniel Garcia becomes the new TNT champion. JJ, what's your thoughts?
Well, let me just say, first of all, I think the Christian Cage is my father shirt is one of the greatest shirts that there is.
God. Doing well, man.
I do want to get one of those. But I definitely see Daniel Garcia as the future, one of the future pillars of this company.
No doubt.
I definitely see him picking up the W here. But I don't know if he leaves with the title. I'm wondering if he gets disqualified because Adam Copeland comes back and spears the shit out of Christian Cage.
Oh, jeez, yeah. That's Adam Copeland factor is a huge thought in mine.
Because for Adam Copeland not to be here with all of the pageantry of Steen's final match, I think would just be absurd.
Fair. Again, Adam Copeland, where's his anger set towards, though? Is it set towards Daniel Garcia, who was an obstacle towards getting to the TNT Championship, and Christian Cage? Or is Adam Copeland furious after Christian Cage tried to threaten his career once again when we thought he was truly retired. At the end of the day, what's Adam Copeland's sights set more upon? The TNT title or the friggin' Patriarch? I think it's option B.
I think it's a little bit of both. Either way, I see a disqualification here.
So
You
you have
know,
Christian Cage
whether
with
it's
the belts.
yeah. Yeah, since the way that the league is done is who leaves with the title.
Correct.
I guess I'm picking Christian Cage to leave with the title.
All right.
Whether it's a spear to Christian or him trying to spear Christian getting out of the way, and him spearing the shit out of Daniel Garcia, I see Adam Copeland getting involved and costing the title to Garcia.
I'm just going to say this before I give it to Chris. I do believe there's a triple threat brewing between Christian Cage, Daniel Garcia, and Adam Copeland. I just don't know who has the championship around their waist. And I think it should be Daniel Garcia at this point. That's all I'm saying. Well, Chris, this is a unique situation for you, isn't it, bruv? It's 1-1. You are the decider, while the poll is 3-1 in favor of the Patriarch. So who do you have leaving with the TNT title?
Well, I understand what Christian Cage did to Adam Copeland, hitting a concerto, and that forced Adam Copeland to be out of the card for Revolution.
So Christian Cage thinks.
So the thing is this: if Adam Copeland is there, he's probably is there to watch Sting's final match. Are they going to show him on Sunday? I just don't know at this point. As far as this match goes, I'm going to go with Christian Cage to retain the TNT championship. And here's why. I just feel Kill Swish and Nick Rain, they're going to get involved in this. And we all know that's going to happen. And Daniel Garcia is not going to have enough fighting power. Christian Cage is going to retain. And I could see maybe after the match, Adam Copeland coming back. But I think Adam Copeland should show up maybe on a random AEW episode to get his revenge on Christian Cage and maybe challenge Christian Cage for that championship. It could happen maybe at Big Business when we get into Boston, or maybe what I'm hearing is the rumors going around that we might get an April pay-per-view for AEW. Maybe you do Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage for that TNT championship at that April pay-per-view, wherever that April pay-per-view might be. If it's AEW Dynasty, I kind of heard that it is. But overall, Christian Cage is going to retain the TNT champ on Sunday. Daniel Garcia, he's going to have his moment, but not yet.
All right. Well, damn it. 2-1. All right. Well, we'll see. But hopefully Killswitch has a lane. Maybe Killswitch the guy that, beats the decider. And he whacks out the patriarchy. We also got to watch out for that Jezebel, Mama Wayne, if you will. Somebody has to counteract that when I wouldn't mind seeing a Glamorous on Rise from the Phoenix and spear her in oblivion. Just saying. Anyway. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. If nothing else, again, this is definitely going to be a unique match. But I hope that the right person wins for all the rightful fathers in America, not the ones that are leading by a negative example. Just saying. Can't go. Okay. But, yeah, the Good Coalition. I remember that too. All right, good stuff. Now, let's go ahead and change gears. I'm going to simply start by saying this. I'll say it once. I said it 10 times, I'll say it 150 times. The potential is here with this division if you fucking book it right. And arguably, this is the most important match to me in AEW women's wrestling history, and arguably right now, women's championships going on in 2024. It started back in Stardom, where these two first met, where Toni Storm was the former Stardom SWA title holder. She held that illustrious championship, the Stardom World Association Championship, for over 600 days. It was February 2017 where the Virtuosa made an excursion to Japan, and these two met for the first time ever. Toni Storm won. As they continued to tag and also feud on opposite sides as freelancers of Stardom, they went their separate ways and did not meet up again until WWE in NXT UK, where it was Toni Storm and the Virtuosa again in 2018. They had a nice singles one-on-one exhibition, and Toni Storm won. Later on, during the Downhill Festival in June 2019, once again, their paths crossed over the NXT UK Championship, and Toni Storm was victorious with the Storm Zero. You look at these two and how they went different worlds. Why Deonna Purrazzo defined herself in TNA, becoming a three-time Knockouts World Champion, former AAA Arenas champion, and the former, of course, Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Toni Storm, of course, defined herself in WXW, Progress, and of course, NXT UK, and now a three-time AEW World Champion. Two worlds come together, where Toni Storm looks to kill the past while the Virtuoso looks to define the future. This, for me, is my second most important match of the night outside of Sting. It is the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm versus the Virtuosa. Deonna Purrazzo. This is their fourth ever singles encounter. So far, we see how far Toni Storm has gone off the milestone when it comes to her rise to stardom. Since the Virtuosa invaded the AEW landscape and reminded her how close they are connected. But of course, I'm sure JJ gave the last Toni Storm silent film 5 out of 5 stars, courtesy of Rotten Tomatoes, rated fresh. Toni Storm says break a leg. Deonna Purrazzo looks to take an arm or two. Bitch. Regardless, we know that big business is going to pick up for the AEW women's division. But who leads it and who guides it and who supports it? I think about names like Jamie Hayter, due to return, has beef with Toni Storm. I think about Dr. Baker DMD saying that she would love to face the virtuoso Deonna Purrazzo in All Elite Wrestling, also still injured. I think about people we don't know where they're going to go, like Camille. I think about business being picked up where money may talk and Monet may walk. That being said, Toni Storm has held this title since being in Kushida last year at Full Gear and has been quite a timeless presentation. While the Virtuosa come in like the friggin' final boss, and I love that, she also remains undefeated so far in AEW. In AEW Revolution pay-per-view history, this is the 5th AEW Revolution pay-per-view. The Women's Championship has never changed hands. It has always been defended successfully. That being said, I'm done giving you guys a background. Chris, you're first. Who becomes the AEW Women's World Champion?
Well, I feel this is going to possibly be, I'm going to say this is going to be match of the night for me. I have a gut feeling this is match of the night with Timeless Toni Storm and Deonna Purrazzo. I'm happy that Deonna Purrazzo came to AEW. I was bummed out that she didn't pick WWE, but hey, when the money talks for a reason.
Along with other factors, but that's all up to the talent. That's not for us to dictate. Continue.
But I'm happy for her. She's gonna have a bright future ahead. And this is Tony Khan's booking here. She just came in like not too long ago and she's gained a championship match right off the bat. She only had maybe maybe 3 matches, and then Tony Khan says, "Oh, I'm giving you a championship match right off the bat." That is not good for the business. She could go. They could have had Tony Khan should have done this, had her from the bottom and work her way up to that women's title picture, but is Tony Khan's booking. So I feel in a way this is going to be a good match of the night. The outcome of this match, I am going for Timeless Tony Storm to retain the AEW Women's World Champion this Sunday. And here's for a couple of reasons. We got Timeless Tony Storm retain, and we got someone coming on March 13th at Big Business in AEW. And that's Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné is coming, so they would like to do Timeless Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné for that AEW Women's World Championship if it's at the April pay-per-view, or I would just save Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné for Double or Nothing. That would be a money match for Double or Nothing. And I would even do this. I would have Mercedes Moné be the one to dethrone Tony Storm for that AEW Women's World Championship. There's no doubt in my mind that it's going to happen. So Timeless Tony Storm retains, and she's going to be going into a program with Mercedes Moné when she arrives in AEW in Boston.
All right. Well, JJ, a majority are going with Timeless Tony Storm to retain. It's 70-30 right now against the Virtuosa. But to try and counteract what Chris said, Chris, she's worked her way up from the bottom to get this. 7 matches in a row, hasn't lost yet. And according to the rankings, she is ranked now at number 1, so she has earned this. She even said when coming in, she wants to earn what she believes that she can win. And that has been the Virtuosa's MO. There's a reason why she's the only Virtuosa in the industry. Somebody that has redefined eloquently and excellent beyond all belief in her talent. One of the best female technical wrestlers, not named Serena Deeb. Try and find me another name on the female side, besides Natalia, that literally could rival what Deonna Purrazzo has basically disciplined herself in quite strongly. Again, I'm just educating you because, again, I'm an advocate for women's wrestling. Jeff Meacham, where you at, bro? Well, JJ, what's your thoughts on this? Again, the Timeless Tony Storm character, to your words verbatim, has been arguably the best female character AEW has had in recent memory. But again, does a character always need a championship to have their spot or present what they bring? And with the factors of Mariah May being her biggest fan, but maybe she wants that spotlight in Stardom, considering she's a former Stardom Tag Team Champion, 99 matches in 1 year, just saying. And again, business picking up the women's division. A lot more showcase lately on Collision. Need to work more on Dynamite, just saying. But what's your take on this very unique long-term underlying story that has happened within the span of what is 2 months now in the All Elite Wrestling Women's Division? Where do you dictate the championship going? What's your take?
Well, first and foremost, let me say the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media does not condone putting out definitive statements when there's only rumors. I have yet to see an AEW press release stating that Mercedes Moné is making her debut on March 13th. So until such a time as she either shows up or Tony Khan makes one of his official announcements, we are treating it as if Mercedes Moné is just rumored to be showing up, despite the fact that all the signs point to the fact that she will be there. There is no definitive announcement as of yet. We don't like misleading our fans. Second of all, Chris sat here and talked about how Deonna Purrazzo's only had a couple of matches and she's being thrown a title shot here, yet he wants Mercedes Moné to debut and immediately go into a feud with Tony Storm and take the title off of her. Sounds a little hypocritical if you ask me. As far as I look at this, you want to talk about money versus Mercedes Moné? I love me some Timeless Tony Storm. I've been one of her biggest supporters since she started going down this yellow brick road to insanity that she has been on.
Virtually eating lipstick, by the way, after trying to break Deonna's leg in a desperate attempt to make sure she is non-technical.
I would love to see a Timeless Tony presentation, a little bit more horror themed than normal, as Timeless Tony stars opposite the French Canadian Frankenstein PCO. Just give me this, please.
Wow. And they are going to Canada. So that's a real possibility.
But when it comes to the championship here, as great of a character as Timeless Tony is, the money is Mercedes Moné challenging the virtuosa Diana Perazzo. Long may she fucking reign.
Thank you.
And new AEW Women's Champion.
And this is why I love this boy so much. And Chris, you're a young boy, but I respect you, but you're as foolish as Josh Mansfield sometimes. Do your homework, bruv, with all due respect. That being said, you're damn fucking right Diana Perazzo deserves to be the fucking champion. You want to redefine what it means to wrestle the strongest capability for a title in AEW? She's the leader. She's the one that defined Mai Tai Ad on her pay-per-view debut match. Pay-per-view level in TNA, Summerverse 2020. We defined the Knockouts landscape 3 straight years and presented that title across NWA, AEW, Ring of Honor, and AAA. Elevating against the likes of her all-time rival Jordan Graves, basically recreating a rivalry up there with the likes of Gail Kim and freaking Awesome Kong in this generation of Knockouts, which are still the leaders in all of women's professional wrestling. Don't at me. I dare you. I will fight you till the world's end. Period. And that includes AEW pay-per-view. Diana Perazzo gives the reset the AEW Women's Division needs for a definitive fighting champion where only your resume and your talent is worthy of facing her, not just a once a quarter showcase. Toni Storm is an incredible character. There is so much more she could do still as timeless. Remember, when she lost the title, when she was illustrious, she had the chance for the title when she was that. She lost it and she became timeless. And look at what she became. Arguably, again, the best she's ever been from a presentation with Mariah May and the Butler Luther and all the Hollywood starlets that have lost their way, a fall from stardom to rise again in a whole different light. Whether they need to go to psychiatric warfare is a whole different means. It means that Toni Storm goes in a different direction. And after eating lipstick, she almost seems desperate. And I think we finally create history in AEW once again. The women's title changed hands, and Diana once again redefines a women's division. There's a reason why she has the presentation that she has since coming in and earning this 7 matches, might I add, young man. So,
and you need a fighting, defending champion now more than ever while Julia Hart is injured.
Yes,
because you don't have the TBS title getting defended every Collision anymore.
Because
you
right
need
now,
someone that can defend the title twice a week, giving title shots to Red Velvet, Sky Blue, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale.
Keep going. Anna Jay, Ruby Soho, Saraya, Harley Cameron, and who knows who else Tony Khan might bring into the women's division, because it's open season as far as I'm concerned on the industry. And with the blurring the lines of the Ring of Honor women's division for those that
Queen Aminata.
Yeah, exactly. Newly signed All Elite. Again, there's so much depth, so much possibility, so much potential untapped that the Virtuosa could be literally showcased with to elevate. Long may she fucking reign.
Perazzo could be the female Orange Cassidy if she wins the title.
Bar none. Again, she held the Knockouts World Championship one time for 343 straight days, constantly presenting it and defending it before she lost it to, you guessed it, Mickie James. But again, you think about what she did with the Knockouts division. Part in front of nobody for a year, and then ongoing in front of everybody across the world. She took the Knockouts to a level unseen in a long damn time. I know damn well she definitely can do that in All Elite Wrestling if Madman Tony Khan doesn't fuck this shit up. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. This could be the best year ever for All Elite Wrestling's women's division. And we're subtly seeing it from the Creole of Serena Deeb. And God, give me that fucking match. To the arrival of the Virtuosa, to the return of Thunder Rosa, to the potential of insert name coming into here, to the long-term waiting of the likes of Dubberger DMD and Jamie Hayter, just to name a couple. Long may she fucking reign in All Elite Wrestling. Deonna Purrazzo wins the All Elite Wrestling's Women's World Championship. But thank you, Toni Storm. Bravo, hell of a performance. I'm just curious to see, does Deonna take one arm or two? Or does she surprise Toni Storm in a way that she never knew? This is going to be an incredible match, but Toni Storm falls to the Virtuosa for the first time ever in their illustrious careers. And the title changes for the first time ever at Revolution. Long may she fucking reign. Deonna Purrazzo for the victory. You're the
And let me
now.
just say that the movies that Tony's going to release on the heels of her loss are going to be epic.
Oh, I agree.
Because she's going to have that descent into madness.
Yes. Yes. Alfred Hitchcock psycho levels of madness. Hey, how's that for a movie reference for you, JJ? You happy about that? There you go. JJ approve. Again, I'm an advocate for women's wrestling, so sorry if I got a little bit hot there, Chris, but we don't have the clip, but with all due respect, always do your homework, bro. Now, let's go ahead and change gears to what's probably going to be our filler match for the night. Who likes meat? Sorry, you don't have meat. 8-week scramble. Yeah, this is the thing. We have Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Wardlow, Hook, Brian Cajun, Spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1. The remaining two is the current CMLL star Magnus and Dante Martin. Dante Martin beat outlasted, I think it was Commander and Brian Keats on Collision. Why tonight on Rampage, it will be, I think against Matt Sydal, that Madness surprises us and qualifies for this. All I'm going to say, all I'm going to say is this. If Wardlow doesn't win, the promo means nothing and the Undisputed Kingdom falls underneath the sands. Thank you. Does anyone have a different objective? Going once. Going twice. Yes.
I don't know if Wardlow wins this.
Do tell.
When this was just going to be Hobbs, Archer, and Wardlow, I was down. Wardlow was going to take this.
Right.
But then you added Jericho for some odd reason. You added Cage for some odd reason. There's two other guys. But Hook really catches my attention here. Hook has rarely ever been defeated.
True.
Wardlow has more L's than Hook does.
Very true.
I could see Wardlow hitting the Powerbomb Symphony on somebody. And I could see Hook stealing the victory.
Oh, that'd be a bit unlike him.
It would be, but it's the ultimate opportunity. Got to take the ultimate opportunity when it presents itself.
I see what you did there.
There's enough people in this match that are going to be gunning for Wardlow that after a Powerbomb Symphony, very easily could go and attack Wardlow, allowing Hook to just kind of slither over there and get the victory.
All right.
Maybe lock in Red Rum, and because
yes.
the Powerbomb Symphony, he's passed out.
That's if Wardlow uses the Powerbomb Symphony, because since his new turn on life, all he uses now is a jackknife Powerbomb higher than Undertaker and Kevin Diesel, if you know what I mean. So I see what you're saying, but I also go about this. First off, happy birthday to one of my all-time favorites, Lance Archer. Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs. Last time Hobbs and Jericho were in the ring together, Hobbs made him get it. And World's Strongest slammed Jericho to the ambulance. Lance Archer, everybody dies. This is a guy that is unmatched in competition, but always somehow has a great showcase, but doesn't seem to win. Pisses me off. Hook and Brian Cage have called out each other lately, where Brian Cage believes that Hook gets so much more stuff put into him, where he shouldn't, because look at me, look at him, who better? Unbiased or not, you look at the size, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. And Wardlow, he of course has won previous multi-man affairs at Revolution. Remember, it was 2 years ago that he won the Face of Revolution ladder match, and last year he beat Samoa Joe in his own move via submission. It's almost like Revolution proverbially is Wardlow's stage. But to your point, 8-way scramble, anything goes, all hell's going to break loose. All you got to do is get a pinfall submission inside the ring where opportunity presents itself best. And you're talking about people that might surprise you. Chris Jericho is the Ocho for a reason, and he thrives off opportunity. And for those that don't know, Chris Jericho got into this after beating Atlantis Jr. in AEW, and what was going to be the original 3-man meet was going to be 5 layers of meat, but Miro and Keith Lee, by the way, suffering from double shoulder surgery, injured. Again, to anybody out there right now in the industry injured, included but not limited to Julia Hart, Kylan King, Keith Lee, freaking Master Watto, freaking Miro, Britt Bigger. Again, if you're injured just in general, take care of yourselves and get back to what you love, but hopefully you end your career on your own terms. That's all I got to say about that. Dadgum. Protect your mentality and your physical capability. But yeah, and Dante Martin, he's going to be a class act. He's going to high fly. He's going to give us something to show, to really, be in shock and awe. But I just look at this field and it's like he's the oddest one out versus Hook, who previously challenged Mojo for the title. But I just think right now with what they've built, and you also look at the graphic, it's almost like Wardlow's in the dead center. I think Wardlow kind of needs this win. And hey, 8-man scramble. Who's to say that the Undisputed Kingdom won't get involved here? We talked about this not being a night for Blackpool Combat Club. It could be a night for the Undisputed Kingdom. And that might be undisputed. Chris, majority are going with Wardlow, 75%. Why runner-up is Powerhouse Hobbs after probably destroying Sammy Guevara through a table with the World's Strongest Slam. But there is actually a person here that voted for Chris Jericho. Nobody has voted for anybody else. So what's your take on this 8-way dance? Not you.
Well, I'm keeping this short and sweet. I got Wardlow winning this all-star scramble match.
All right. And for those that don't know, yes, I've never been to Denny's. I've never been to Waffle House. I know, but boo-hoo me. Yeah, one day I'll figure it out. What? Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. Don't do that. What? You shame me for not having a freaking diner?
You need to go and get you a scramble, bro.
I
know you have a Denny's out there where you are.
I got one Denny's, I think, in the city, and I don't even know if it's still open. I have to Google it. Maybe I'll Google it.
I never been to
Denny's is always
before.
open. Denny's is like 7-Eleven.
Okay, so that's good to know. But look, I've DoorDashed a few times in my life where I wanted to. I've only DoorDashed Tim Hortons and IHOP. Give me a break.
Even IHOP has to have a scramble of some kind, bro.
Scramble? Well, they might, but I usually get crazy. This is not about food. Even though this should be
the meat division. Of course it's about food.
It's not all meat. Look at this. You got some freaking lean. All right, I'm not going there. Let's go ahead and swerve this in a different direction.
Well, you did put me down for Hook, yes?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Just wanted to make sure it was official.
Yeah, of course. And of course, you all know me. Predictions are not officially final till 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday night. All right, let's go ahead and swerve in a different direction from this impromptu division to the AEW garments. Not copyright. AEW World Championship, as we have Samoa Joe defend the gold against Swerve Strickland and Heyman Adam Page. Heyman Adam Page, who has literally shared the blood of Swerve. Jesus Christ, that was sick. At AEW Full Gear, they had a 30-minute draw. Damn it. And Heyman thought that he stopped Swerve dead in his tracks as he's on this lifelong vendetta to make sure Swerve never becomes champion. But Tony Khan, he fucking did it. I knew it. I called it. He made it a triple threat, much to the championship's disadvantage. But Joe, he's a guy you can't intimidate. He's a guy that's not petty. He's a guy that doesn't whine. He tells you how it is. You think you're going to step past me because you're personal vendetta? Not going to happen. You think you're going to use Heyman to finally get what you want? Not going to happen. As far as they're concerned, he's Samoa Joe, and Come Revolution is going to beat both their asses. Do I need to say anything else? What do I say about triple threat? You have Buffer, you have Fall Person. If this triple threat doesn't literally put the labels of each man here that I literally just metaphor, then I don't know what professional wrestling is, damn it. And that's a hard pill to swallow with me being a lifelong fan. So let's go ahead and talk about this for a little bit before we get to our main event. And again, apparently, whoever wins this will get a shot at the AEW World Championship. Whether they're next, I have no idea. Chris, who do you have leaving with the AEW World Championship?
Well, this three-way match, yeah, I knew Tony Khan would do the triple threat. And yeah, there's a Buffer and there's a Fall Person. I think the Fall Person is Hangman Adam Page. They put Hangman Adam Page in here because he's going to be the Fall Person, and they're not going to put the championship on him again anytime soon. I'm going to say since Samoa Joe won the championship back at War's End, there's no way that they're going to there's no way they're taking that title off of Samoa Joe yet. I got Samoa Joe retaining the AEW World Championship on Sunday, and then the winner of that scramble match will be facing Samoa Joe for the World Championship. So if it's Wardlow, I could see it happening at Big Business on March 13th, or they could do it at the April pay-per-view. But for Swerve, it's going to be his moment, but not yet. His time is coming to become the AEW World Champion. Swerve Strickland, his time is coming, but not this Sunday, but it's coming soon. So we just got to hang on tight a little bit longer, but Swerve will have his moment soon. So Samoa Joe retains on Sunday night.
JJ, is it safe to say that we talk about original homegrown talent in AEW that rose to the occasion, created their own spot, deserved to be called champion, that you would put Swerve in that category? And a majority of people, by the way, echo your sentiments, Chris, 60%, not unanimous, 60% actually went with Samoa Joe. One person went with Heyman and Page, pretty sure they were drunk, but 7 actually went with Swerve. And here's what's interesting. Swerve debut came in off a contract signing at Revolution 2 years ago. So maybe Revolution is where he finally makes history. But is it this one or one yet to be foreseen? Because I do think Swerve deserves to rule in his house as the world champion. It's just a matter of how and when and against who and where. JJ, your thoughts on this match?
Well, as long as the Hangman is the one that gets hung out to dry, I think everyone will be happy. We'll just start there.
All right.
See, on the one hand, I kind of agree with Chris and most people's thought process in the fact that Joe won the belt at World's End. Why would he lose it this quickly?
Mm-hmm.
But then I sit here and I think, if Joe retains and we wait until Double or Nothing for Swerve to get the title.
Allegedly.
That's why I said,
right.
playing this out here.
Right, air quotes. I'm
so
just
that's May that Swerve is getting the title.
Right.
June, July, August, when he faces, in theory, Will Ospreay at Wembley Stadium for the title.
Right.
The same amount of time that he would be champion before, theoretically, possibly dropping it to Ospreay at Wembley Stadium.
Right.
So what would make any difference if Joe dropped the title here? That way Swerve could get a couple extra months on the back end.
Triple Fred, champion doesn't have to be involved in the decision.
You know, I think, and I could be wrong here, I think Joe was a means to an end. I think MJF was so fucked up. In case of emergency, break glass. Samoa Joe's your champion. I think the plan may have been to have Max lose the belt to Swerve all along.
There was that backstage altercation.
So Joe may just be the guy that's limping the belt to Swerve. Because let's be real. Let's be real.
Go for it, bro.
I love me some Samoa Joe, but he does not need to be the world champion at his age. He's been around since the early to mid 2000s. He dominated Ring of Honor in 2004, 20 years ago.
He had that belt behind you when he went to TNA.
Yeah. Samoa Joe does not need to be the man anymore. I think his run here, the few months he's had it, in addition to being in case of emergency break glass, was designed to be one thing and one thing only: a fuck you to WWE. Because they thought he was too injury prone. They had him wearing a poncho at ringside.
Thanks, Swerve brought that back too. Damn.
I know. And you could see Joe's face. He was like, you.
I love that promo.
I think this run, as short as it may end up being, was designed to get the belt from Max to Swerve, and as a big middle finger to the WWE, showing people that he still could wrestle at that level and be good wrestling at that level. Swerve Strickland leaves with the title.
Damn, just outside Black History Month. And to be fair, it's kind of what happened with Saraya last year at All In. She got the moment when WWE thought that she couldn't do it anymore. And then shortly after, Hikaru Shida took the title from her on Dynamite 200. With Dynamite getting a new coat of paint, basically, quite literally. A new set, new logo, new colors, probably. Swerve being the guy to rule this house, this newly revamped house, it does make a lot of sense. And I want it to happen, but I don't know. For me, Joe's just not a guy I put as short-term champion. I just don't put those words in the same sentence. And he's only had one defense. Does he need to be a long-term champion? No, I definitely don't think he needs 500 days like he did with the Ring of Honor World Television Championship when he beat out the entire roster. But
the question becomes, would you rather see Swerve as a short-term champion? When Swerve finally does it, do you want to see him as the short-term champion? Do you really think he's going to walk into Wembley Stadium and defeat Will Ospreay in Wembley?
Don't make me think like that.
You long-term storytelling.
I know, but no, duck on it.
You gotta look at this long term.
And I don't know what April holds in store. That's the thing.
Yeah, because there's been no official announcement about a pay-per-view.
Nope.
So we cannot confirm nor deny those allegations that are being made.
Nope.
Again, until Tony Khan makes one of his wide-eyed announcements where he reads a teleprompter,
Good Lord Almighty.
even though, it's his announcement from his company, he should be able to speak from the heart. But I digress there. That's a whole other diatribe that people haven't paid to hear me go off on.
If you want to hear that, super chat, $20.
But I think Swerve needs this. He's proven that he deserves it.
It would be a moment, but considering what this show is centered around, and also where this match could be.
Yeah.
Oy, now you got me
considering what this show is centered around, the very real possibility that the two wrestlers that are more hated in this business than Dominic fucking Mysterio could take the gold from Sting in his final match.
Oh dear.
Don't you want something that's going to at least let people leave happy?
He's the fake. He's a babyface. Everyone will be swerving all night long, including me. I get what you're saying. I really do. If there's one thing we can all agree on, we believe that this will eliminate Hangman from the AEW World Championship picture, regardless of result. That much I think we all can agree on. But I'm quite surprised there. It's a split panel. So you pick Swerve. But for right now, I'm still going to stick out with Samoa Joe because I've also seen the Women's World title change hands on a Specialized Dynamite. And whatever April's going to be, I think Swerve wins it one-on-one without Prince Nana. Proves his work. I just think right now that Swerve deserves in the best possible light. And why the pay-per-view might be the biggest light right now doesn't have to be the only one. And I don't know if they're going to Seattle anytime soon, but I just think right now Swerve's time comes under a different presentation. I'm just going to say that Joe retains. I'm going to stick with that. That being said, we have a lot of fun, a lot of chat, a lot of talk, a lot of different thoughts. But let's go ahead and talk about the reason why we're here, why I have my moniker changed for the first time ever from Forever Great Professional Wrestling, damn it. As it's time to talk about what truly should be the main event, where it is showtime for the last time. It is Sting's last match as Darby Allin and Sting defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships against, oh Lord, in Tornado Tag Team action. Okay, I'm going to remember professional. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the AEW EVPs, the 25th title accolade in the illustrious career of Sting. What started back putting it on the map in Greensboro, North Carolina at NWA Clash of Champions in 1988 against the Nature Boy Ric Flair. This will be Sting's 2,156th match. I'm not saying anything else. JJ, speak.
You're really going to go to me first to start off talking about the two members of the Jackson family that are more useless than LaToya. Gotcha.
Yep. Buckle up, folks. This is why he's the main event. I don't need to say anything else after him. I don't think Chris will need to either. That's why I'm giving him the floor. It's Steve's last match. This will be JJ's last stand against them when it comes to Sting on the other side. So buckle up and enjoy this. Floor is yours, my friend. Go ahead.
All right. Well, as those of you that watch my show, when I'm not sick for a week and actually do it, Nick and Matt Massey, because they want to be called their legal names. So that is how they are going to be referred, are Nick and Matt Massey.
All right.
Jackson is a stage name. I still, in the pit of my soul, find it hard to believe that Steve Borden, the man behind the makeup of Sting, would request these two pathetic pieces of shit as the opponents for his final match. These two guys that would not have any relevancy in this fucking business if they weren't surgically attached to Kenneth by Goddeth Omega Nutsacketh.
Damn.
There are so many people on this roster completely bypassing his own partner, Darby Allin. But there are so many people on this roster that deserve this opportunity more than the Massey brothers. What about the Acclaimed? What about the Guns? What about 2.0, Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange?
I wouldn't
What
mind
about
taking
FTR? What about the BCC? I realize they're booked in other matches.
Yes.
Irrelevant.
Yes.
You know, what about, and I know Ray Phoenix is injured, but what about, the Lucha Brothers? What about Penta and Commander or something?
They have done that before.
What about Top Flight?
Dante and Darius Martin. Private
Top
Party.
Flight could make a huge name for themselves having this match with Steen. Private Party, yes.
The Hardys.
What about the Hardys?
Yes.
What about, I don't know, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage? I realize they haven't come back together yet, but they totally could have started that path at Wrestle Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Darby filmed that video of Adam's debut.
That was awesome.
They totally could have spun that into something and had them come together by the time we have this match. The bottom line is there's so many other teams that deserve this spot. So I refuse to believe that Steve Borden picked these two jagoffs. They are here because they are the EVPs of the company. They have booked themselves into this match so that they can not only become 3-time tag team champions, but say that they ended the career of the iconic Sting. Like they need more accolades. They chased Phil CM Punk Brooks out of the company, and now they're going to retire Sting as well. In the words of Pepsi Phil, stop me when I'm telling lies.
I'm not saying anything.
The only reason I could see Steen and Darby retaining would be because Tony would get to have another fucking tournament. And we all know how much he loves fucking tournaments.
Yeah, they're not bad showcases.
I mean, the Owen's going to be kicking off in what, like 2.5 months? If it stays on track. We usually get an announcement of the brackets at Double or Nothing, right?
Usually, yes.
So, give us a tournament to get us to the next tournament. You're laughing, but again, stop me when I'm telling lies.
You're not. I mean, New Japan Pro Wrestling gives you a tournament every couple of months. Just saying. It's all right, brother. I got you. Tranquilo.
It pains me. Because I know I'm probably throwing away an L because I refuse to pick the Massies. I'm going to go with Steen and Darby. knowing that I am probably going to lose that pick because I just cannot support those two putrid pieces of shit. And with that, Noah, I turn it back over to you.
Thank you, JJ. Ladies and gentlemen, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. All right. Well, guess what? You're not alone. Chris, it's 50-50 in the poll. Where do you stand?
When it's like 50-50, it could go either way. It could like make or break someone. Like it can make or break someone in the predictions league this Sunday. It can make or break, but this is the first one. So we don't have to worry about that. This is going to be a match that it's going to be a lot of sadness. It's going to be a lot of emotional people at the very end to see Sting hang it up. And personally, I'm happy that this is Sting's final match. He deserves to go out in a blaze of glory. He needs to go out, possibly give it his final breath. That is all it could take. I know Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, they beat up Sting's. Was that Sting's sons that were at ringside? Okay.
Yep.
I do believe Sting wants to get revenge on them for beating up their sons, and I think their sons are. I think Sting's son is going to be there on Sunday.
Oh,
His whole family is they're going to show them all in the front row. So that's going to happen before the match starts. And I do believe Sting's sons are going to get involved in this match to get their revenge on Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. I feel that is going to happen. But we got to keep an eye out for the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. We have to keep an eye out for him because he had that closed door
conversation
kind of
with the Bucks, but he also double turned
with the Bucks, and they double turned. So that's where my mind is saying, does Ric Flair, he is the dirtiest player of the game. Can Ric Flair turn on Sting in his final match to help Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the AEW EVPs, to win this match? And I'm going out with a limb here. I know JJ went with Sting and Darby, and Tony Khan is going to possibly want to have a tournament. Personally, I love tournaments. I do tournaments for WWE 2K video games. I don't want to see a tournament in AEW anytime soon. I know we're going to get the Owen Hart. That's a tournament. We're going to get that. As far as this match goes, this Sunday, the AEW EVPs, Matthew, Nicholas Jackson, becomes the new AEW Tag Team Champions, and they're going to give Sting a loss on Sunday because when there's a retirement match, you lose your retirement match, and that's how you write off go into the sunset.
Okay. Well, so it leaves it down. Yes, JJ, I see your brain.
The Boneyard match was Undertaker's retirement match, correct?
Yes, but that was under
Did Undertaker
TKM.
win that or lose that?
Win,
Okay. Just
but that
wanted
was
to
not
make sure.
okay.
Yeah, about to say.
Just wanted to make sure. Because Sting and Undertaker have always been compared. So if one can go out with the W, why not the other?
Again, no lies detected. All right. Well, damn it. Again, I recently went through and watched their clash from 1988. And again, Ric Flair, he is the dirtiest player in the game, but there's a reason that he came into AEW to be along with Sting on this last ride. We're going to get a huge, recollection and retrospective on Sting's career. Again, I already talked about it. I mostly followed Sting through TNA and beyond. I didn't see a lot of the WCW stuff because I was a WWF kid at the time. But the way I see it is this. If Sting and Darby Allin weren't put in this tag title situation, would you still go against them if they were facing Young Buck, EVP, or normal Young Bucks without any title implications? If, for example, this wasn't a tag team affair, would you go against the icon if it was Darby Allin and he put the man over that brought him into AEW in the first place, saying that you still got, giving him the career ending he deserved and the showcase? Sting is undefeated, period, in his entire AEW career since coming in back at Winter is Coming, December 2nd, 2020, and having his first match in AEW Revolution 2021. Sting and Darby Allin are undefeated as a tag team, 26-0 in their illustrious career together, the entire landscape of AEW, respectfully. The bottom line is this. I don't look at this for the titles. I look at this for the moment. We've seen every face of Sting since he showed up in AEW, including the real Sting, the man behind the face paint, when he exposed a truth that he lost his father 7 years ago. That was the moment that the Young Bucks truly made this personal, and I simply said one thing. You fucked up. And then I marked out as he descended for the Raptors, and the mind games began. This is Sting's showtime for the last time. He said a long time ago, he and Darby Allin are going to go down in a blaze of glory. It doesn't mean they're the ones that go down losing. JJ picked Sting and Darby Allin. You picked the Young Bucks. My official prediction is Sting wins his retirement. Because the only thing that should be for sure about this match with Sting is that he is the one that you give him truly the everlasting moment. He deserves this win. He deserves this end. And you vacate the AEW Tag Team Championships and reset not just the women's landscape, but the men's tag team division landscape. And if the EVPs want to try and go on a 40 run and try to boycott this tournament or try and politic their way towards the finals, we'll deal with that heat then. But right now, this show is not about them. It is about one thing and one thing only, and that is Sting. Sting deserves the win. Sting gets the win. Sting should win. Sting should main event. I choose Sting and Darby Allin to beat the EVPs, no matter what it takes or who gets involved. And Sting retires in victory, undefeated in the last run of his forever-telling legacy. Sting and Darby Allin win and leave Revolution, still recognized as AEW Tag Team Champions. Why icons never die. Sting leaves victorious come Sunday night. Period. Well, that being said, we see all y'all's comments. Revolution shaping to be an all-timer. It's Sting and F the Young Bucks. When do we put that in there? Thank you, Sting. 8 out of 10. Can't wait again, folks. You still have a chance to get your predictions in. Again, the link to the form is in the description down below. But that concludes the predicting. What's your lasting moments of Sting? And trust me, there's going to be a lot of talk about Sting's career come Sunday, pre-show and during this match. And I'm sure JJ, James, and I are going to have one hell of a time with this thing here. And I hope anybody that appreciates what the icon gave them at some point in his illustrious career, no matter what type of fan you are of this business, say one thing and one thing only at the end of this show. Thank you, Sting. And with that, I thank all of you once again for tuning in. And I thank you, my friends, for being part of City Predicting. Before we conclude, let's go ahead and do some plugs before we bid everybody a fine adieu. Chris, it's always a pleasure. You definitely got some unique picks here. Good luck in the launch of this year's All Elite League. But as usual, my friend, where can people find you?
Well, thank you, everybody, for allowing me to be on tonight. I always have a good time being here on Simply Predicting. Noah, JJ, James Hubert, and also the birthday boy, Jeff Meacham.
Damn right.
Good luck to you guys on Sunday, covering AEW Revolution. I will be watching you guys pre-show on Sunday. If there's no matches for the 0 hour, I'll be watching you guys because you guys are the best kickoff panelists of all time. So I'm going to give you guys that credit and that shout out. Where you guys can find me at is on my X account, CROTZ24. My Insta, CMROTZ_6472. My Facebook is Christopher Rotz. Thank you once again for allowing me beyond Simply Predicting tonight. The next time you'll be getting us on Simply Predicting will be next week, where we will be predicting TNA Sacrifice. That will be taking place Friday, March 8th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where time subject to change, where we will be getting Moose versus Eric Young for the TNT champ. No, I botched that. The TNA championship. So stay tuned on that. Simply Predicting. It's always been a pleasure being on tonight. Say yeah to NoDQ.com. I hope you guys have a nice and exciting weekend. I'm heading out to watch the remainder of Friday Night SmackDown. You guys enjoy your night, enjoy the weekend, and once again, thank you, Sting, for everything.
And thank you, Chris. Have a good night. Enjoy the show, enjoy the pay-per-view, and good luck once again. See you next time, bro. I do. All right, JJ. Again, once again, it's always a damn it deal. It's always a pleasure. It's me and you. We got a hell of a weekend ahead of us, too. Not just this pay-per-view, not just Sting's last match, not just the risk of your blood pressure, but so much more in the shenanigans to come tomorrow night, too. Let's just have some fun and enjoy wrestling, too. But, of course, where can people connect and find you?
Well, you can always find me on social media on Instagram, The Renegade JJ Williams, Twitter, ROWJJ Williams, YouTube, Casa D18 Studios. Thank you again to Pop for the super chat. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in right now, watching on YouTube.
Remember?
Yes. I always hesitate to plug this right now because it's been so long since we've really uploaded anything that I feel bad shilling that, and
that's fair.
Then there's nothing that goes up.
A definite hiatus. Just call it what it is, because it still exists and it will be rebooted at one point.
What I do want to make sure we get over though is Rangers of Wrestling.
Yes.
Our good buddy Datilla.
Yes.
She is on the road to 1,000. She needs 5 more subscribers to hit 1,000. I don't know how many people are watching right now. I don't have that in front of me. But for everybody that is watching, if you guys can go to Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube and subscribe to Datilla, she needs 5 more subscribers to hit that elusive 1,000. Once she hits the 1,000, that'll be one more benchmark checked off on her road to monetization. And if she hits that before midnight on Monday, she will have to begin reviewing NXT PLEs and television specials. And next Tuesday, the 5th, is going to be our coverage of Roadblock.
Yes.
So she will have to cover Roadblock if she gets there before midnight on Monday night.
TikTok.
Pacific time.
Yeah, I'm about to say what time zone. There's a caveat.
She tried to do Eastern. I'm like, why are you doing Eastern when you live on the West Coast?
I'm
So
about to
that
say
don't make no sense.
when did she come to Ohio?
But yeah, 5 more subscribers.
$5 foot long. All right. Well, let's get Attila to that 4-digit milestone because she more than deserves it. I will acknowledge that. So good luck to the Attila and that pursuit of his wrestling. And again, people, let's make it happen. And JJ, figure as always for being a part of
Yes.
the fun here, Super Predicting, and all you do and what you make happen. And thank you everybody that tuned in as well. And also, we love this so much. He loves wrestling. So if you haven't already, go check out his weekly shows on a daily basis. For the love of
Yes.
wrestling, things will probably
That'll be
catch
back
up next week.
Tuesday.
There you go. As of course, he reviews all the wrestling, all the wrestling, all the wrestling, all the professional wrestling. Damn it! And sports entertainment. But
Yes, it'll be back next
don't
Tuesday. That way I don't have to worry about the weekend shows.
Yeah.
I can get back to sliding into things with Raw on Tuesday and kick the week off right.
And
one more time, we want to make sure we send a happy birthday shout out to the boss man, the West Coast professor, Jeff motherfucking Meacham.
Damn right.
41 years old today, officially at 8:11 Pacific. He said that is when he was actually born, so he's still got a couple of hours until it's official.
Oh,
But
okay.
you know.
And again, folks, please follow the Renegade as Casting
Yes.
Studios and follow Jeff motherfucking Meacham at the Jeff Meacham Network, Jeff Meacham on YouTube, and all the social medias, the Twitter, and other social media platforms too, and all his supported parties and friends like Paradise Kitty and so much more. And also
Yes.
Statboy Sports Bar, of course, with Dory Lou and Statboy Mikey. Always gotta get him in there. And you talk about the
There
mission
you
for
go.
the Tilla. Let's not forget about your mission to get the Renegade TNA Rebellion. We'll see if we can make that happen.
We're about a quarter of the way there with a few donations that we've received. So
nice.
Still got
All right.
3/4 of the way, but yeah. And then of course make sure you tune in tomorrow night for open mic night as we do part 2 of Push, Bench, and Repackage. We've got 20 more superstars to go through. I had no idea the entirety of last week's show would be spent doing that. I thought we'd get through the names and we'd still have plenty of time.
That's too much fun.
But it was such spirited conversation. Nobody was even mad about it. So make sure you tune in for part 2 tomorrow night. And then, of course, Sunday night, Showtime for the last time. Noah, James, and myself all be part of the call for Steen's last match. Thank you, Steve Borden. Thank you, Steiner. We love and appreciate and respect the hell out of everything you have done for the game. And you play a mighty good bass guitar as well, but that's a whole other story.
Well, I mean, hell,
I kid.
He's always been a rock star, and I know exactly what you're talking about. As we're trying to listen for the winds of change, don't try and get a karaoke night focused on only Sting here. All right, seriously.
Well, I do have a little bit of news to break to you because part of how we got as far as we've gotten with the Road to Rebellion is it was thrown out there on Talk Wrestling on Monday that a certain somebody, I'm just going to point and whistle, would sing the Man Called Steen theme song if we got a very generous donation, and your good buddy Dwayne Atkinson came through with that donation. So on Sunday, we'll do it on the pay-per-view. You will have to do The Man Called Steen.
The things I do.
I figured that was the perfect song to do. Like, if you really think about it, other than Seek and Destroy, most of his songs are all instrumental.
Yeah.
So you've either got the iconic Metallica or you've got the corny as hell WCW, The Man Called Steen. And I just thought you would have so much fun with that.
Ah, damn it. All right. I honor the commitment since it was held up, so I guess that's official. So I'm sure more shenanigans are to come at my expense too, in and out this weekend and in and out of our call of this AEW pay-per-view. But again, it's going to be one hell of a show, one hell of a time. I'm looking forward to it all. And thank you, JJ, and thank everybody that's been along for this ride. It's the predicting as we bring in the weekend. Again, folks, why do I do all this? For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! And I always will be then, now, and forever. And again, thank you, Stink. Can't say it enough. So follow me if you choose on the Twitter and on YouTube. And at Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, the entire AEW family on the Twitter and our social media platforms. We just recorded episode 51, me and the KNG King, along with Eric. Episode 51, our AEW Revolution Looms special. We predicted Revolution and talk about all the happenings in and out of wrestling too. Check that out if you can. Follow me on my YouTube channel to keep up with league forums, league updates, give your own simple assessment to all the biggest shows across all things wrestling at Foster1916. But the Twitter, the X, is primarily my home for full results from all shows and all leaderboards for all the leagues. So if you can, follow me there. It's all underneath in Foster1916. Shout out to my friend across the pond, Megan Chiba, who also recently celebrated a birthday earlier this week, where she continues to prove that J's worth more than gold. Nothing but the best to you, my friend. Cheers to you always. We are ATW for life. We talked about Attila earlier. So again, if you're a fan of Power Rangers of Wrestling, check it out. It's always wrestling time with first special reviews currently. Dynamite, SmackDown, Collision, and Raw. NXT, though, very well might be added. So stay tuned for more on that. Again, we talked about it earlier. This is all possible because we love this, but also it's all possible because of all of you. And again, we truly, simply thank you. For those that don't know what that channel is, again, that is Rangers of Wrestling. That's right, youtube.com/Rangers of Wrestling, or put in the following URL, or click that URL if it's actually clickable in the chat. I'm not sure. And then hit that subscribe button, and boom, you're all set. Let's get Attila over the hump. Let's get her that 4 digits, because she deserves it. I believe Attila deserves to be monetized, just like I believe in Joe Hendry. And so does she. And maybe JJ one day will too, because that's pure motivation. And speaking of motivation, again, as he alluded to, we're going to cover Evolution, then go to Roadblock, and then fall on that big business. And then business is going to pick up here for the championship motives of Mia in the worst way possible for my voice, because I'm probably going to die. And that's all right. Because after we cover Sacrifice, we're going to go straight towards the busiest week of the year. And here's what's ahead with Stand Deliver WrestleMania, potentially this Dynasty nonsense that the ATW crew talked about, and officially Supercar of Honor. So if you want to be part of those leagues, part of those discussions, part of those predictions, follow hashtags predicting on the Twitter and on YouTube. And reach out to me, Jeff, or JJ. Jeff, we love to, Jeff Chadwick and Jeff Meacham. We love to have you if you have an open, considerate passion for this business and want to discuss professional wrestling too. Love to have you. And until Sunday, that's really all I have to say, promote, and discuss too. But as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, treasure your families, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. But with that being said, thank you so much once again for tuning into another edition of Super Predicting. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bells where it goes live on demand on this show or Cast 18 Studios. Give them a super sticker. Show them some love. Show them a super chat. Thank you, Papa, there for that. Hit the subscribe button. Help us keep growing our YouTube communities. Not just the Tillas, but the Tillas right now is top priority. Help us grow our YouTube communities. I assure you, our creative passion, our content, our creativity, our mindsets, and our insanity for this business without sleep at times is not letting up anytime soon. That's all I got to say now, where I bid you adieu. And it is showtime for the final time come Sunday night. But in the meantime, enjoy Friday night, enjoy Saturday night. And as I always leave you, make a positive impact in life and have a good night. For we are not AEW. We are the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. Have a good night, folks. And once again, thank you. Stay